Hello everyone, and welcome to my PVZ plush collection. I'm here today to show you everything that I have. It's not a very big collection, but I can say that I do have some special plants and zombies in here that you guys like, and I'm just here to show you guys and hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, so first up here, of course, we first have pea shooter, and this is the pea shooter I've been having. This is probably the first plant I've ever gotten, so yeah, just the original. Alright, next up we have kernel pole, and this kernel pole is actually the second plant I've ever gotten, and he's become one of my favorites. I like his design, and yeah, he's pretty cool to have. Alright, next up we have melon pole. Yes, this is my melon pole. I remember wanting to get winter melon for a while, but I never ended up getting him. But yeah, here you go. Alright, so next in line is cabbage pole. I remember getting this a while ago, and I remember seeing the original picture that I'll put on screen right now, and this one right here, I remember his face being a little higher than right here. His face is really low on this one for some reason, and it looks like whenever you put him down, and if these go down, like, you can hardly see his face. But I mean, that's cabbage pole for y'all. Now we have walnut. This is just regular old walnut. I remember wanting to make a custom and make him into the Iron Maiden, but I never did, and he's just gonna sit right here. Alright, and we have cactus. We have cactus, but no drone, sadly, or garlic drone. He's gonna have to sit right here. Alright, so next up is marigold, but instead she's in a pot. So I remember seeing this online and just wanted to get this because it fit like the whole roof aesthetic, you know, and she's in a pot and she also comes from the roof level, so it just kind of matched, and she can just wait right there. Now when it comes to custom plants, I have one that's kind of a failed attempt, and he's right here. It's supposed to be repeater, but I guess I never finished the other eyebrow and the back. I was gonna put more stems in the back with custom like cloth or something, but I guess I never finished it, and he's just missing an eyebrow and missing the back of his head. So yeah, he's gonna go right here. Continuing the pea shooters, we also have split pea. I'm pretty sure that's his name, but yeah, he's right here. This is the bootleg version, pretty sure, or I don't know. I remember wanting another version of this one, but yeah, this is the teeny tiny version right here. Next up is cherry bomb. Oh, why are they kissing? Hold on. All right, here's cherry bomb. I remember breaking the stem part right here of the cherry bomb and throwing it, and it kind of just ripped off, but I stitched it back, and now it's back to being brand new basically. He's gonna sit right here. Alright, so next up we have boomerang, and I really like this design. He's pretty cool, and even though he's probably one of the weakest in Plants vs Zombies 2, I still like the plush, so yeah. Alright, next up we have sunflower. Nothing too crazy about her. Yeah, just regular old sunflower, I guess. And I also have twin sunflower. This actually came along with this one right here when I first got them. Yeah, here's twin sunflower. I actually had to move cabbage pole to the front because he's a little too short, so just to make him be seen and appreciated. Alright, next up we have jalapeno on a lily pad. I remember wanting to take this off from jalapeno, but I just decided to keep it on since he can actually just stand up on his own with it. And next up we have iceberg lettuce from PVZ2, also from ancient Egypt with boomerang. He is probably one of the only like frozen plants that I have in my collection, but yeah. All right, next up is one of my favorite plants, which is this fume shroom plush right here. Now I forgot where this even comes from. I'll put up on screen what fume shroom this is, but Yeah, this is one of my favorite Fume Shroom plushies, and he's very big compared to the rest. As you can see, like if I put him right here, he kind of just is huge. He's like the gargantuar for the plants. But yeah, he's one of my favorites. I'm gonna leave him right there. All right, next up we have Coconut Canyon from PVZ2 or Pirate Seas. He's pretty cool. I like the little coconuts on his feet, if you can call it feet. But yeah, he's gonna go right here next to all the PVZ2 plants. Now here's one of my finished custom plants, which is lily pad. And yeah, he is just a little green plushie that I decided to draw over and put eyes on. And this works well with most plants since it's like a big enough size, but for Fume Shroom over here, if you try to put him on the lily pad, you can kind of see that he's a little too big for the lily pad. Alright, finally for the plants, I have Sunshroom, and yeah, he goes pretty well with Fume Shroom over here. I wish I got more nighttime plants, not gonna lie, but those are the only two I have. Alright, so I do have another pair of plants that I failed to mention, which are right here. It's Twin Sunflower, but it's not any Twin Sunflower. If I turn them around, they're actually the zombie in disguise plushies right here. So yeah, I have two of these. These are I forgot which ones these are from, but I'll also put these on screen if you guys want to know the names of these from where they come from. But these are the zombie in disguise plushies, and I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but what I'm planning to do with all these plushies, or for a lot of them, is to sell them online, since I've been having them for a while, and most of them are all in pretty great condition. And you know, I was just making this plush collection video to show y'all what I have and seeing if anyone would be interested in buying some of these. And also, what I didn't mention was the other plants I did have previously, which was Pumpkin and Crazy Dave, which I know isn't a plant, but I did have a Crazy Dave custom, and I gave that one to my nephew, so I don't have that one here. And the Pumpkin I ended up losing. But yeah, those were the only other two that I had. But now, I guess we're moving on to the zombies. Alright, so the next zombie is going to be the brown coat zombie. Now, this is the first zombie that I've ever gotten in my collection. He's pretty cool. I like this brown coat zombie design. And I also have another brown coat, which is this one right here. Now, this is the one that's also part of these ones, which, you know, you can take the head off from right here if you guys didn't know. I'll try to demonstrate it with this one over here. You can kind of just pop the head off, and it just, you can see it just comes right off, and you can put it back on. But yeah, they're pretty cool. And those are the two regular zombies that I have for now. Also, with this zombie, you can it actually has hair, and it's like made out of wire kind of, so you can kind of bend them in whichever way you want it to. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm gonna start putting these zombies up here because I'm gonna start running out of space. For the next zombie, it's gonna be Ducky Tube Zombie. Now, I've always liked the Ducky Tube on this zombie. I've always found it to be pretty cool. Just the back is kind of weirdly stitched on. He looks like he's morphing into the Ducky Tube. But yeah, he's part of the pool levels, and I do have another pool level zombie coming up. And also with the brown coat zombies, I did make a custom flag for them, and they can't really hold it, but you can kind of just put them in their arms and they can hold it a little bit. But yeah, this is the flag that's supposed to come with this one right here. And yep. All right, next up is Dolphin Rider Zombie. Now, the dolphin is supposed to be stitched into the body like right here, but I got rid of it since you can have more mobility with his arm and just, you know, move around. Actually, he's actually able to ride it if you put it between his legs, and, you know. But yeah, he's gonna go right next to Ducky Tube right here. The next zombie is one of my favorite zombies, which is the Pirate Zombie from Pirate Seas. Now, this is the World Max one. I don't know which version it is, but he's just the basic zombie, pirate zombie, but I've always liked this design most. And then I also have another Pirate Sea zombie, which is this one, the Swashbuckler zombie, if I'm not mistaken, or the one that like rides the rope into the battlefield. attacks your plants. But yeah, these are the two pirate zombies that I have. I also wanted to get the raw zombie one, but I never ended up getting that one. Now for the next zombie, it's one of my favorite customs out of my whole collection, and I don't ever recall seeing someone make a custom out of the zombie before, which is crazy because he's probably one of the bigger characters in Plants vs Zombies 1. And this is it. It's the Zamboni zombie from Plants vs Zombies 1. Now, I just found this zombie. I forgot the name of it, but it was like a skiing zombie. And he had the perfect skin color, the perfect hat, the perfect shirt. And all I did was just add hair in the back of his head. And I made this little Zamboni that he's riding in. And yeah, it's a pretty cool custom zombie that I've had, and this is probably one of the only ones that I probably wouldn't sell since it's, you know, a custom. But for the rest of these, you know, I am still planning to sell these plants and zombies. But yeah, this is probably one of my favorite customs. Alright, next up for the zombies, I have the Conehead zombies. Now the reason why I have two of these is because I did want to make a custom Zomboss plush with this one right here. I was gonna take his cone head off and put a whole thing for him, since I did make a Crazy Dave one, but I just never got around to making it. So now I just have two cone heads, and they're gonna go alongside well with my two brown coat zombies up there. Alright, so next up is the pole vaulter zombie, and sadly I don't have a pole for him, but you know, he's doing just fine without it, and he looks pretty cool. He looks just like the game design. And I also have the mini keychain version. This came along with this one when I first got it, and it's just like the miniature version from like the first mini game Plants vs Zombies. If you guys remember the little mini zombies in the pool level, yeah, this is basically it. Now one of the night level zombies I have is gonna be the newspaper zombie. He's super overpowered in Plants vs Zombies 2 and even in Plants vs Zombies 1. Do not break his newspaper or else he gets really mad. But yep. And if you guys couldn't tell, a lot of my collection is mostly based around the first game, not the second game, and that goes along with my zombies too, since I only have a couple of PvZ2 zombies, which is the cowboy zombie right here, and then I also have the jester zombie from Dark Ages, which is probably one of the most annoying zombies in Plants vs Zombies 2. Now lastly, for the final zombie that I have, it's gonna be the imp, or actually the Gargantuar, my biggest zombie here. You can go toe to toe with Fumeshroom over here with size, but yep. Besides that, that is gonna be my collection for today, including all plants and zombies right here. And yeah, as I said, I am gonna be selling the majority of these online soon on eBay or on Facebook, who knows. But I'll let you guys know, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.